Hey, what's good, traders? So I wanted to make a quick video just going through CHF's JPY. I just caught an L on this one, but I definitely want to address why it happened. So first thing I want to do is kind of remove some of this junk, not junk, but some of these lines. There was clearly a horizontal resistance right here, this orange line, kind of going through and touching one, two, three, four. Several times there, and so on and so forth, even back into um, 2018. Anyways, pretty strong resistance, so I felt super confident there. And this is kind of this is one of those things where you see a nail because you've got a hammer and everything looks like a nail, basically. That's what happened here. So, anyways, I had this key level resistance, which is nice. It's there. It's still relevant, except for we're coming back up to touch it. We had a bearish engulfing. This is the only real bearish sign I had. I think I can go back in time. Bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and try that. I think I can push it back to here. I wonder if that makes it do that for these two. It doesn't. Okay. Anyways, if we go back, I see what I gotta do. Okay. If I go back to where that first touch was, it would be. They only let me do it on the higher time frames. Okay, whatever. So get the pro membership. I have a link. A link in the description. Okay. So this is what we traded off of. This is an intraday chart. So this is a 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart. You kind of see the same thing going on here. And then I'll pull back. But there wasn't any real structure here. It was literally trending higher, and then we came to the key level. So the only place we saw like a real strong reaction was on the daily, which was that engulfing channel or engulfing bar. But even on the weekly, we don't really have anything here. Um, you know, this is, what was that, 2 days ago? So that's still this week. And this week we actually were sitting right at the 20. So, well, I guess you could say that maybe we were overstretched and maybe we'll bounce off that 20, but there was no real sign that 20 has been holding. It's been holding the area, but the bars have been kind of going crazy, even hitting up on the 50. The 50 would be a more realistic dynamic resistance in this case, for sure. So that's kind of how I look at it. I saw what I wanted to see. I didn't really, legit take a look at it and say, all right, well, you know, we're about to bounce off of this level, and here's why. It was bearish engulfing key level. All right, I'm in there. Big mistake. So what I needed is like a double top, like what we've got here, some kind of structure, price structure that showed me that we were about to drop off, instead of just one single daily bar. And that's why you stack confluence. Anyways, quick lesson. Learn from my mistake. Understand what's going on here. I might take this trade a second go around and actually get in at a better price, more or less. So I'm going to look for a setup here. Probably actually take it. If I'm looking at trying to take this down, it's going to be something like that. And then this is recent lows, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I just trade off of the pivot. From a fib perspective, I feel like we're in the same boat. But I don't really know what I want to do from a fib perspective, to be honest. If I look at this like from way up here, that doesn't make sense. If I look at it from That doesn't make sense either. Essentially, there's a way to use fib that that does make sense for people, but for me, it's more about how can I make this resonate with me, resonate with my style, and me be able to sleep at night whenever I get into this type of position, right? And so I just don't like this because we're talking pullback play, and I've never traded a pullback off of a double top like that. So maybe I'll wait even longer. Maybe I'll wait for a drop down pullback in order to have an entry. So maybe my pullback comes down from here. Let me do this. I know this is maybe getting confusing for people who are new, but I'm thinking from here we drop down, then we pull back. So maybe we drop down to around here, where we've had a lot of price action grouping in the past, and maybe we pull back like that. So the move, just for people who are more visual, the move is going to look like this. It's going to come down, touch, and then we're going to pull back to this red line, and then for a reaction, take this further down. That's like the super safe play, and that's really the only play that I can justify at this point. The way I used to trade, I could trade off of this top line, off of the key level, and just take that down. I have my stop loss somewhere above recent highs, but that's also assuming that we actually are going to create this double top, and that's going to be like a viable thing. The risk there is that we blow past it and we don't have a double top. Right now, it looks like we would be good with that. MACD divergence is on point to where we're leaning towards the bearish side. So we'll see. I'll think about it. I could also take a CBO on this and just wait for it to break through 50 and pull back. So a couple different ways I can do it. I'm gonna think a little bit more about this before I actually set a trade and then make a video about that. All right, peace.